So now we want to talk about some of the etiquettes of making calls and the etiquettes of receiving phone calls. The first thing I want to talk about is the hours, alright? Don't call people late at night or at times when you know that they're going to be asleep. The exception would be someone that has already let you know what their sleeping schedule looks like. So if someone tells you, call me anytime, I sleep at 2 a.m., then you can call him until 2 a.m. You can call him at 1:30 or any other time, because he gave you the green light and you know their schedule now, their sleep pattern. But we know the Prophet ﷺ used to dislike talking after Isha prayer, right? And he also would sleep early, sometimes after Isha, and there are a few people who sleep immediately after Isha prayer. So only call people if you know that this is what they do. They gave you the green light to call them late at night, or they gave you the green light to call them very early in the morning. Some people call you at 7 a.m. But if they know you're awake after Fajr, yani some people after Fajr, they remain awake, so you can receive a call at 7, it's no problem. They've been awake since 5, 7 is quite late for them actually. They've been awake for 2 hours. But some families and some people, they love to get that sweet nap after Fajr. You know what I'm talking about, right? That sweet, sweet nap, right? And these people, when you call them, it's very distracting. Some of them, their children are sleeping, or their parents might be asleep, and you call them at that time. Only do it if you're aware that that person doesn't mind it, or that it's okay with them. But unfortunately, a lot of people know this. Do we really need a lecture to say don't call people late at night? We don't, but people call late at night, and they think they're smart. So they do things like they throw in a disclaimer or like a quick apology. They'll do things like they'll call you at 1 a.m., you answer, say, I hope I'm not disturbing you. What do you think? It's 1 a.m. What do you expect? You are disturbing, but can you say that to someone? And that's why they'll ask you things that, am I bothering you? Well, you don't ask a question where the person can never answer in the affirmative. You tell someone, am I bothering you? Even if he knows you quite well, do you think he'll say, yes, Habibi, you're bothering me? It's difficult to say that. So don't ask someone a question that they couldn't answer you, especially when they can't answer you in the affirmative. And I remember one time this guy came to my house and his daughter was just tearing up the house. I mean, she was just tearing things down and just putting them like this. And he's not stopping her, and he's telling me about politics and stuff, and I'm just looking at him and then I'm looking at her. I couldn't focus with him. So then he noticed that I was so distraught. So then he looked at her, he saw what she was doing. Finally he noticed it. She was actually making a design. She really was making a design all over the house with furniture and with pieces of furniture. So then suddenly he noticed what she was doing. He looked at me and he said, it's okay? How do you answer that? He's already smiling. He's saying it's okay, then he's nodding already. He's not even letting me answer. It's okay? What do I tell him? No. He's the guest. It's difficult. So don't ask people questions where they couldn't answer you honestly anyways, Like the guy who called you up, he's like, I'm sorry, were you asleep? Well, when I said, Assalamu alaikum, you should have guessed it. But then they told you, oh, okay, well I need to ask you this question, so he doesn't care really. Just that concerned part, were you asleep? And then, well, tell me the answer to this question. So I don't really care. So that's the thing. Don't call people when it's very late at night, and don't call people when very early in the morning, unless you know, or they've given you the green light to call them at these times.
Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah. Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la